You think you know the story between South Korea and the Philippines? You've seen the K-dramas, the military partnerships, maybe a news headline or two. It seems like a simple, friendly relationship, right? A story of trade and tourism. But what if I told you that in a quiet room, away from the cameras, South Korean officials made a statement about Filipinos so shocking, so utterly candid, that it changes everything you thought you knew about their dynamic? If you're interested in this topic, hit the like button, subscribe, and type interested in the comments, and I will give you a heart. This isn't just about diplomacy. It's about a stunning admission that could reframe how millions of Filipinos see their place in the world. This is a story of respect, of dependency, and of a future that you need to know about. This is South Korea's shocking statement about Filipinos. The world needs to know, and it's a statement that proves the Philippines isn't just a partner, it's a linchpin, a vital, indispensable component in South Korea's own survival. And once you hear this statement, once you understand its full implications, you'll never look at the relationship between these two nations, or perhaps even your own country's alliances, the same way again. The truth is far more complex and, frankly, far more empowering than anyone has dared to say out loud. Before we dive into the first mind-blowing revelation, I have a quick favor to ask. Hit that like button. Seriously, it's a small click that tells YouTube this content matters and helps us reach more people who need to hear this. The first part of this shocking truth starts in an unexpected place: the economy. The global image of South Korea is all about high tech. Samsung, Hyundai, LG. We see the gadgets, the cars, the smart cities, but what you don't see is the quiet, essential labor force that is the very foundation of this economic powerhouse. South Korea has one of the lowest birth rates and one of the fastest aging populations in the world. Their workforce is shrinking, and the demand for skilled and semi-skilled labor is skyrocketing. They need more workers than they have citizens to fill the roles. This is a problem that every developed nation faces, but in South Korea, it's a national crisis. The solution is clear. They need foreign workers, but not just any workers. They need a specific kind of worker. Imagine a high-performance race car. It looks sleek and powerful on the outside, but what if the engine is slowly seizing up? You can't just throw any random parts in there. You need a specialized team with a specific, reliable skill set to keep that engine running. That's the role the Filipino people are playing in South Korea right now. They are the essential, specialized workforce making the engine of the South Korean economy purr. So what exactly did South Korea say about these workers that's so different? And why is it a game changer for Filipinos everywhere? When they recently reopened a massive shipyard in Subic Bay, Philippines, they didn't just talk about investment. In their official statement, HD Hyundai's CEO said the new shipyard would play a crucial role in regaining competitiveness in the global market. They didn't just choose the Philippines for cheap labor. They chose it because of the Filipino people's specific skills. The CEO's official statement and the Philippine president's remarks underscored this point. They are not just looking for bodies to fill jobs, they are seeking a skilled workforce worthy of their trust. This isn't a small thing. For decades, the narrative of foreign labor was a one-way street. A country with surplus labor provides it to a country that needs it, with the relationship often being purely transactional. But South Korea, in its official statements and corporate actions, is admitting something deeper: that its own global competitiveness, its ability to compete with rivals like China, is now directly dependent on the skills and reliability of the Filipino people. This is a form of partnership that is profoundly different and elevates the Philippines from a simple labor provider to a strategic industrial partner. This is a recognition of the Filipino workers' craft, dignity, and crucial role in a global supply chain. This is a South Korea's shocking statement about Filipinos. The world needs to know, and it's just the beginning. But the economic story is just one piece of the puzzle. What happens when this economic dependency crosses over into the military sphere? Because a surprising statement from Seoul's top military brass reveals a far more complex and dangerous layer to this story, a layer that might put Filipinos on the front lines of a new Cold War. Don't miss the next revelation. Hit that subscribe button to become part of our community of curious minds. You're not going to want to miss how these secrets affect all of us. We've seen how Filipinos are the economic backbone of South Korea, but what happens when that backbone is called upon to fight a war? The world knows about the Korean War. What they don't know is the surprising and critical role Filipinos are playing in preparing for the next one. North Korea continues to be a looming threat to South Korea's security. While the US is a primary ally, South Korea knows it needs to diversify its defense partnerships and bolster its own capabilities. Its strategy involves not just buying weapons, but building a strategic network of allies in the Indo-Pacific. This is a complex geopolitical chess game, and the Philippines, for all its own problems, is a critical piece on the board. The simple narrative is that the Philippines is just an ally, but recent statements from South Korea's military leaders reveal a much deeper and more dependent relationship. Imagine a football team with a star quarterback who has no offensive line. He's powerful and skilled, but without protection, he's vulnerable. South Korea is that quarterback, and the Filipinos and their strategic location are becoming their offensive line. But this isn't just about location. It's about a specific kind of military cooperation that the South Korean government openly admitted is essential to their security. So what military statement did South Korea make about Filipinos that proves they are more than just an ally? And how is this changing the geopolitical landscape for everyone involved? While South Korea sells billions in military equipment to countries worldwide, their deal with the Philippines is different. It's not just a sale of F-A-50 light combat aircraft. It's an explicit acknowledgement that this deal is part of a larger shared strategy to promote a rules-based order governed by international law in the Indo-Pacific. South Korean officials have publicly stated that the Philippines' military modernization is a direct contributor to their own national security. This is not just a commercial transaction, it's a strategic investment in a key partner. Furthermore, South Korea has invested in setting up a naval support center in the Philippines to maintain South Korean-built ships and equipment. This shows a level of trust and long-term commitment that is virtually unheard of. It means South Korea is placing its own defense logistics in the hands of Filipinos. This is a dramatic shift. They are entrusting a foreign nation with the maintenance and repair of their most sensitive military assets. This is the very definition of a strategic partnership and the very real implication of South Korea's shocking statement about Filipinos. The world needs to know. The message is clear. The defense of South Korea and its ability to deter aggression from the North or other rivals is now inextricably linked to the military capabilities and reliability of the Filipino people. This is an acknowledgement that the Philippines isn't just a friendly face in a crowd, it's a foundational pillar of their regional security. But what about the people-to-people side? This kind of trust can't be built on just economics and military alliances. It must have a deeper cultural root. So, what about tourism and culture? Here's where the most shocking statement of all comes in. A statement that flies in the face of common stereotypes and reveals what South Korea truly thinks about Filipino character. If this deep dive into geopolitical truths is blowing your mind, give this video a thumbs up. It fuels our research into these incredible hidden history. We've uncovered the economic and military foundations of this stunning truth, but a lasting partnership between two nations isn't built on trade deals and weapons alone, it's built on trust and a deeper, unspoken understanding. This is where South Korea's shocking statement about Filipinos, the world needs to know, becomes intensely personal. Globally, there's a stereotype of the Filipino worker as a caregiver or a domestic helper. While this work is noble, it often carries a stigma of being low-skilled or undervalued. This perception can overshadow the incredible talent, compassion, and resilience of the Filipino people. South Korea itself has a complex history with foreign workers, sometimes marked by prejudice. So you would expect any official statement to be guarded, maybe even dismissive of a deeper personal connection. Imagine you're running a company and you need a new team. You could hire a group with the perfect resume, but what if they're unreliable? Or you could hire a group with a reputation for loyalty, compassion, and going above and beyond. Which team would you trust with your most critical, sensitive work? South Korea's official statements have answered this question, and their answer is about Filipinos. So what statement did South Korea make about Filipino character that went against all expectations, and how is this quiet acknowledgement changing the way the world sees the Filipino people? But it's not just a labor program, it's a cultural statement. Despite local opposition and complex regulations, the South Korean government has repeatedly pushed for the program, citing the specific qualities of Filipino workers, their English proficiency, their high level of education, and their renowned compassion and work ethic. While these may sound like general platitudes, in the context of a labor program that has faced significant political headwinds, these are not just words, they are a ringing endorsement. They are a statement that South Korea is willing to navigate a political minefield to get a specific type of worker, not just because of their skills, but because of their character. This is the ultimate trust. To entrust the care of your elderly, your sick, and your children to a foreign nation is to make a profound statement of faith. It's an acknowledgement that for all the geopolitical and economic factors, the ultimate reason for the partnership is the Filipino people themselves. Their values of family, respect for elders, and perseverance are not just seen as cultural traits, they are seen as a strategic advantage. It is a tacit admission that South Korea needs not just the skills of Filipinos, but their hearts and their values. This is South Korea's shocking statement about Filipinos. The world needs to know. And it's a testament to the fact that for Filipinos, their greatest export isn't just their labor, it's their humanity. But the story doesn't end there. All of this newfound respect and strategic partnership has a very real, very personal consequence. Because what happens when the world sees the Filipino people not as a side character in the global story, but as the main character? The final, shocking truth is the one that will transform the lives of every Filipino watching this video and change their perception of their own potential. If you're captivated by this journey into hidden truths, hit the share button. Let's spread this incredible knowledge and empower more people. We've gone from the factories to the battlefield to the hospital beds, and with each step, we've seen how South Korea's shocking statement about Filipinos, the world needs to know, has redefined a relationship. But the ultimate payoff, the final revelation, is not for a nation, but for the Filipino people themselves. For too long, the narrative of the Philippines has been defined by struggle. The world sees headlines about poverty, political instability, and a diaspora born of necessity. This narrative, while rooted in some truth, has often overshadowed the incredible resilience, ingenuity, and cultural richness of the Filipinos. It has in some ways created a collective identity that undervalues its own strength and potential. The challenge, then, is not external, it's internal. It's about Filipinos seeing themselves the way the world's most powerful nations secretly see them. Imagine a highly trained warrior who has been told his whole life he is just a servant. He performs his duties with grace and skill, but he never sees his own true power. Then one day, the king's most trusted advisor pulls him aside and says, "Our kingdom's survival depends entirely on you. You are not a servant, you are the guardian of this kingdom." That is the transformation happening right now for the Filipino people. So what is the final, most transformative statement that South Korea, and by extension the world, has made about Filipinos? The one that changes their future and their sense of self. The ultimate statement is that the Filipino people possess a unique and irreplaceable quality, their ability to thrive in chaos, adapt to any situation, and build a vibrant community wherever they go. South Korea, through its reliance on Filipino workers, its trust in Filipino naval maintenance, and its faith in Filipino caregivers, has tacitly admitted this. They are betting their future on the Filipino people's ability to navigate an uncertain world with grace and competence. This isn't about one statement, it's about a pattern of behavior that serves as a powerful testament to the Filipino character. It's a testament that speaks louder than any words. It's an acknowledgement that the Filipino people are not just survivors, they are leaders, innovators, and the human glue that holds together critical global systems. This isn't a dream, this is a reality confirmed by one of the most dynamic nations on earth. The Filipinos are no longer a side note in global history, they are a central, indispensable character in its most critical chapters. And this is the transformation you need to embrace. I want to know what this revelation means to you. Does it change how you view the Philippines? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We read every single one. We've seen why South Korea's shocking statement about Filipinos, the world needs to know, is so much more than a headline. It's a confirmation of a truth that many have always known, but few have dared to say, that the Filipino people are not just a part of the global economy, they are the heart of it. They are not just an ally, they are a strategic necessity. Their greatest strength is not in their resources or their location, but in their character. This journey into geopolitical and human truths is just one piece of a much larger puzzle. If you want to continue exploring the incredible diversity of human contributions to global power, you have to watch our next video. The secret US military base in the Philippines you never knew about. Click the video on your screen right now and join me for another mind-blowing adventure into history's hidden truths. You won't want to miss it. So if you've been captivated by the secrets behind this relationship, if your understanding of global dynamics has been profoundly transformed, then your journey of discovery doesn't end here. Like this video, subscribe for more incredible revelations, and click that next video now, because the more we understand our place in the world, the better we can shape our future. See you there.